Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is Hellfire for the Sega Genesis. In this 1990 shoot-'em-up from NCS and Toaplan, Captain Lancer takes on Super Mech and his Black Nebula space matter in the fighter ship CNCS-1. That's too many letters, and it doesn't even help to try and say it like a word. Knswan. Ugh. Now, I'm a religious guy, so I'm particularly wary of what sort of unholy torture a game called Hellfire has in store for me, and if this is even a small taste of divine punishment, I need to atone for my sins right now, because I certainly can't take the heat. Hellfire is absolutely brutal. 6 levels of mecha gunner swarms in space factories, fire-spitting sphinx heads in midnight Egyptian pyramids, glass laser towers filled with neon pink guts or something in a toxic forest, angry volcano fish spewing out of, well, angry volcanoes, weird golden heads that shoot bubble eyeballs at you, and all sorts of intergalactic warships. Red ones that look like crabs, gray ones that look like bugs, and green ones that look like boogers. Not to mention a formidable smattering of mid-bosses and end-bosses, which are actually pretty neat, since most of them have this consistent design element of a deep pinkish-purplish orb at their core, which you have to shoot to defeat them. I assume that's what the Black Nebula space matter is, even though it's not black and it's not a nebula. In any case, the main gimmick of Hellfire is your multi-directional shot. While one action button fires your cannons, the other can switch their aim. Forward with pink blasters, backward with yellow blasters, up and down with green blasters, and diagonally with blue blasters. You'd think the diagonal shot is best, since it's the only one to cover 4 angles at the same time, but that's not always the case. Hellfire does a really good job of forcing you to constantly cycle your cannon orientation based on where enemies fly in from, and where turrets are tucked away in the stage layouts. There's even this one boss whose core reorients itself around several openings, and you can only reach it by using all of your cannon angles in sequence. You can upgrade your firepower by collecting P icons for multiple wider beams, and you can also upgrade your speed, collect shields, and equip a handy, spastic little helper satellite who zips right over to the nearest enemy to deal damage for you. I swear, this little guy is fearless and indestructible. Unlike myself. I must have killed poor Captain Lancer and his CNCS-1 like 1.5 million times in this game. Something about the enemy placement and boss patterns is just really hard to contend with. And the only desperation move at your disposal is the supercharged shot, which unfortunately has limited stock and only shoots forward, so it's not even all that useful half the time. Needless to say, Hellfire really lives up to its name in the difficulty department. I only cleared it by cheating with save states so I would never lose my power-ups and I could give myself checkpoints wherever I needed them. And even still, I only ended up beating easy mode that way. Unfortunately, that means I didn't get the true ending for the game, but I don't think I could clear the highest challenge level no matter how many cheats I have at my disposal. The visuals in Hellfire are pretty cool, if fairly standard for a space shooter. Like I mentioned, the recurring Black Nebula core graphics are a nice touch, and it's cool that each of your directional cannons is assigned its own color. Not to mention the neat detail that they're constantly revolving around your ship. I also like all the music and sound effects here, even the softness of the blaster noise, since it doesn't drown out everything else in the soundscape. I only wish there was a dedicated boss fight theme like in most shoot-'em-ups. It actually makes a big difference in tone shift, and there were times here that I didn't even realize I was fighting an end boss at all. Could have just been a particularly tanky enemy for all I knew, and the game loses a lot of tension and spectacle because of that. My favorite part of Hellfire is the Egyptian stone statue gauntlet, where you weave through moving blocks destroying turrets. I also like the falling Black Nebula orbs that your cannon pushes away before they get destroyed. But if I could change one thing here, I'd replace the supercharged shot with a screen-clearing bomb. Feels like that would be a more useful, and more fair, desperation move when you're dealing with a bullet-filled screen or a particularly threatening boss. Or both, in the case of the end boss Super Mech, who's like some kind of chrome space biker with missiles and a golden retractable spear. Overall, Hellfire is a fun, if extremely punishing, shoot-'em-up, and I can see why it's a genre staple for the Genesis. That being said, I think I need to go to confession like right now, and make amends for my sins to ensure I'm not subjected to anything nearly as brutal as this game in the afterlife.